As Turkey attempts to negotiate a return to the F-35 Lightning II fighter program with the United States, the world may witness a geopolitical version of groveling. Turkey was one of the original partner countries in the program, with an order for up to 100 units of the Air Force F-35A version. Turkey and its President Tayyip Erdogan, most likely still suffering from the impacts of the failed 2016 coup attempt, blamed members of the European Union and the United States for playing a role in the coup. In 2017, President Erdogan took a drastic step by concluding a $2.5 billion arms deal with Russia to acquire the advanced S-400 surface-to-air missile system. This decision by Turkey led to a series of events that adversely impacted the country. Turkey, being a member of NATO, holds significant strategic importance for the alliance. It shares a border with the former Soviet Union, controls access to the Black Sea through the Dardanelles and the Bosphorus, serves as a gateway to the Middle East and Europe, and has actively participated in the Ukraine war, pursuing peace and a grain deal, and maintaining positive relations with both warring countries. The fact that a NATO country would sign an arms deal with the geopolitical rival to NATO was highly controversial and only created suspicion of Turkey and its president. Not only did this decision come after the coup, but it also followed Russia's 2014 seizure of Crimea and its destabilization efforts in the Donbass. This event prompted NATO to mandate defense spending of 2% of GDP for all member countries, a mandate that nearly every NATO country immediately ignored until the Ukraine invasion of 2022. President Erdogan was aware that his country's standing as a NATO member and NATO's decision to take the Russian threat seriously, at least on paper, could result in serious repercussions for Turkey, and rightly so. President Erdogan argued that Turkey was not getting favorable terms for air defense weapons from the US, so it chose to go to Russia. With all that was going on, this was an intentional act to create turmoil, which is a feature of the leadership of President Erdogan. The US warned Turkey that this decision would have consequences, threatening retaliation if Turkey proceeded with the delivery of Russian missiles. Turkey disregarded the warning and proceeded to receive the first 4 missiles from Russia in July 2019. Within a week, the US retaliated by cutting Turkey out of the F-35 fighter program, in which Turkey was a financial and manufacturing partner. In August 2017, President Trump signed the Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act, which granted the US the authority to impose additional sanctions against Turkey. In December 2020, the US imposed sanctions on Turkey after the F-35 retaliation failed to alter Turkey's decision regarding the S-400s. This included a ban on US export licenses and prior authorizations to the Republic of Turkey's Presidency of Defense Industries, freezing the assets of the company's president and imposing visa restrictions. NATO's stated reason for the retaliation and removal from the F-35 was that they did not want a Russian system integrated into their air defense, and the US was concerned that the S-400s could potentially reveal F-35 secrets to Russia through their radars and sensors. Following its removal from the F-35, Turkey made the decision to develop its own fighter to replace its aging F-16s. By blocking Sweden's NATO application for more than a year, Turkey was able to get a concession from the US for update packages for its older F-16s and approval to purchase 40 new F-16s in exchange for approving Sweden's NATO accession. Quid pro quo is alive and well in NATO. Turkey has conducted test firings with the S-400 missiles it purchased, but it has since deactivated and stored them. Since at least 2022, President Erdogan has been attempting to negotiate with the US to re-enter the F-35 program, as the new F-16s and Turkey's domestic fighter, the Turkish aerospace industry's TF-Khan, which it claims is a 5th-generation fighter and a stealth fighter, appear to fall short of the F-35 capabilities. Turkey is willing to negotiate an S-400 agreement with the US to rejoin the F-35 program, and the American government appears receptive. A former Turkish official initially proposed that Turkey sell its S-400s to Pakistan or India, a move that would not provoke the Russians, given that both countries already own the system. Turkish officials rejected this proposal for unknown reasons, stating that any transfer to a third-party country would require Russian approval. The US can monitor the weapons in storage to ensure they are not operating due to Turkish offers. Turkey claims this would be essentially the same scenario as Greece, which is in possession of Russian-made S-300 surface-to-air missiles. The US rejected this offer because Turkey's S-400 situation is different from Greece's S-300 situation. The Greek-owned S-300s were ordered by Cyprus, and the missiles were diverted to Greece to defuse a crisis in the region. Greece stores the missiles on the island of Crete. The distinction lies in the fact that Greece did not purchase the missiles, but rather acquired them through an international peace agreement, without any intention of integrating them into its air defense system. Turkey, on the other hand, intentionally sought to buy the S-400s for its use, despite U.S. protests. If Turkey wishes to rejoin the F-35 program, the U.S. maintains that it must completely remove the S-400s from the country. Turkey did suggest an alternative deal to the United States, in that it would move all their S-400s to be stored at and fully controlled by the U.S. at the U.S. part of the Incirlik Air Base in Turkey. This is an attempt by Turkey to hold on to the missiles, likely as a form of future leverage in the chaos-creating mind of President Erdogan. However, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov rejected this deal, asserting that the U.S. cannot place the S-400s under U.S. control, because such a deal would require Russian consent, which it will not provide. Turkey has expressed a desire to purchase F-35A fighters, likely not the 100 originally envisioned, as it already has its own TF-Con fighter, and will receive new F-16s, so its need has declined. Additionally, it plans to purchase up to 20 F-35B vertical landing and takeoff versions of the fighter for its amphibious assault ship. Turkey's decision to acquire the S-400 has placed it in a challenging position, as it now grants the Russians substantial control over its future purchases. The S-400's presence in Turkey will restrict the weapons that the United States and most likely European NATO countries can sell to Turkey. As long as the S-400s are in Turkey, the Russians will have influence over the country. Turkey applied to join BRICS in September 2024, which is led by Russia and China, and President Erdogan attended this year's BRICS conference in Kazan, Russia. If Turkey joins BRICS, it will become the first NATO member to do so, and it will become a part of an organization that Russia jointly leads. Russia is likely to approve Turkey's membership in BRICS, if only to inflame tensions within NATO, by incorporating one of its member countries into a Russian-led economic organization. NATO lacks a mechanism to expel a member country, but given Turkey's strategic importance and the U.S.'s unwillingness to cede its influence in Turkey to the Russians, the U.S. is unlikely to support such a move even if it were possible. Russia will have both military influence and economic sway in Turkey, which it can use to exert pressure on Turkey to veto NATO decisions that are detrimental to its interests. President Erdogan has proven to be a shrewd leader on the international stage, improving Turkey's position in the world despite an increase in European suspicion. However, it appears that Erdogan's ambitions have placed Turkey in a precarious position, subjecting it to the even more shrewd Vladimir Putin.